So we're going to talk a bit about the latest announcements in Magic.
Yeah, it's time to react.
Time to react. And basically, there were several, things in the Rosewater's latest article about Magic.
Yeah.
About rotation, sets, and stuff that are changing.
The Metamorphosis 2.0.
It's called Metamorphosis 2.0.
Yeah.
And I guess we're going to focus on what's relevant for Limited and why we like some of the changes.
Yeah, what we like, what we didn't like, and what we like about the changes, basically.
Yeah, because first of all, if we look at the sets during a year, right now we are in there are 4 releases. There's one big in the fall with a follow-up, and then there's one big in the spring with a follow-up.
Yeah.
And basically, that's one large and one small, one large, one small. And obviously they could do large, and whatever, but right now it's like that.
It's like that.
And a problem that many players have experienced, including us, is that if you look at what people are saying is the best draft experience they remember, it's usually referring to a triple big set.
Yeah, always basically.
Yeah, triple Innistrad, triple Concept Tarkir, triple Kaladesh, triple Shadows over Innistrad.
Yep.
People are remembering those for some reason. And since we started drafting a lot, this has been the truth for us too.
Yeah, I mean, when the expansions have come, we always think they're bad. I mean, we always say, they did this worse, and they did this worse.
Parts of it can be good, and some of the small sets have been better than others. But usually, just as an example, and he is writing about it too. Shadows over Innistrad, many people liked.
Yeah.
Synergy driven. There were fast decks, slow decks, synergy decks, really good set. And then Average Moon came around, and they just, for example, Investigate, which people loved, they just removed it, and stuff like that. And they did it based on story, based on flavor. But people,
that's the part that we focus on. It's the remove part, because that's the same thing they did every time.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a good thing in the first set, but then they removed that because they had to do a new thing.
And obviously sometimes they could correct a mistake or whatever and make it a slightly better, but usually people have complained a lot about the small sets, and they usually like the big sets.
Yeah.
And there's always examples where
there are exceptions.
Exceptions was the word I was looking for, but mainly this is what they have gotten from both pros and amateurs.
Yep.
So for us, we think that it'll be this draft experience will be more positive. I mean, throughout the year, every big set will hopefully. Obviously, a particular set could just be of a type that me personally don't like it. Because of X and Y.
But just look at if you look at how the mechanics works in a draft set, when you just stick to one mechanic during the entire set, it's usually better, because then you can focus on that and make it the best way it can be.
Yeah.
Instead of like they have to do now, where they create 2 new mechanics and then they have to create 1 or 2 new again
and switch or change and
have them combined.
Yeah,
I mean,
sometimes
that's the problem.
They breach,
yeah,
and sometimes they just don't work together at all.
No.
So a color combination like blue-green, for example, can be all about Investigate.
Yeah,
and everybody loves it. You can go deep into Investigate. You can really focus on knowing what blue-green is about, and then you add a second set, a small set, and the identity of the whole color combination is just thrown away.
Yeah.
Now it's all about Emerge and Investigate doesn't do anything together.
No.
And that's just an example. And obviously some people liked it just because it's cool, big Eldrazi, but looking at it as a design, a whole, it's not a good experience.
Yeah. And I understand that. If you create sets like they have done, then they can make the story about Magic a lot more interesting.
But I think they can keep on doing it, because now
me too. I think they can.
They can be on a plane, have the big set, be released
Yeah.
and have the story going on there. Then they can still be on the same plane, but they can release a whole new set. And it can take.
I guess.
They have written that they may do this, and they can be left on that plane for one more if it's good for the story. But they can still do a whole new set.
Yeah, I guess they can. I mean, they can still name cards basically the same way. I mean, characters can still move on to the other set, even though it's not.
And for example, if they really wanted energy to stick around because they want to try energy, they can have energy in 2 sets.
Yeah, they can.
But they can still do everything else new. For example. So hopefully this will just make drafting more fun more often.
Yeah. So and I mean, if you look at core sets, which is the 4th set that
because now they move from big small. If they move to just 3 big, there's a gap.
Yeah, and then they will add a core set again.
They will basically bring back core sets.
And I mean, I like core sets.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's usually fun to draft. It's usually a bit easier, but it's still fun.
And it's probably. It has been focused to more new players, but sometimes they have put in cards that are too hard for new players to understand.
I mean, they can do like they did with Magic Origins, where they created a core set
that also had some story. Yeah, but it feels like from what I've read, their target group, their main target group is beginners, so that people should the draft. And the cards should be easy to understand what they do.
Yeah.
But they will also do 50% will be new cards.
And I mean, that usually means less synergy-based decks and less cool shenanigans.
Or less cards like Aetherworks, Marvel or whatever that are just weird.
Yeah.
It will be more like creatures, removal spells, pump spells.
Yep.
And what basically it usually sticks to what the color pie is supposed to do, I guess. And I don't mind going from, for example, Shadows over Innistrad, which is one of my favorites for draft formats in the latest years, and then just having a core set in between, drafting some creatures.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
And you do it for that summer, and then you know that there's another big real set, quote unquote, coming back.
Yep.
So I think that the overall 4 big set thing, it feels like it should be good.
I think so too.
And otherwise, I mean, there wasn't much that has to do with limited. It was some design.
I mean, I guess you know, creating planeswalkers. I mean, when they had the Gatewatch, they had to focus so much on the Gatewatch.
Okay, so I guess there's another thing that they will move away a bit from the Gatewatch.
Yeah, and they will probably be new planeswalkers. So there won't be the 3rd Gideon in a row or the 3rd Liliana in a row.
No,
I mean, maybe there will be new planeswalkers or old planeswalkers.
There will be a more diverse planeswalker. Lineup.
Maybe they go back
which is
in time.
Good for which might be good for limited too. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just good for Magic.
Just because it's funnier to have new cards other than only Gideons, Lilianas, and Chandras. I mean,
yeah, but I mean it's not limited specific. It's just for Magic.
It's just for Magic as a game, I guess.
Yeah. And we'll see what more happens. There's the new play testing team, but that has been announced some weeks ago.
Yeah,
maybe that also makes it so that I think that will mainly affect standard, so that it isn't like they have Ulamog and Marvel in the same rotations. No. That's just a mistake. Or Sahili Rai and Felidar Guardian.
Yeah, that was the biggest
They
mistake.
don't want to make standard into modern.
No,
basically.
No.
And that's just good, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that was basically
that was it.
It's the 3 big sets, the core set returning, and the overall, hopefully a better draft experience, since our experience is the same as the feedback Magic the Gathering has gotten, that the big sets are usually better, the small sets are usually worse, and there are several reasons to why that is. So and just leave a comment if you agree, disagree, if you have other feelings about any of the announcements. We really like to just write answers and have a discussion. And join our giveaway that is up.
Look at our giveaway, and as we said in that giveaway, if you have suggestions for our bro down deck this
or
week,
just our constructed play,
Yeah.
because we might
Please
just join
drop
a
a
league
suggestion.
and play with a cool deck. We can play standard, modern, legacy. It's fine whatsoever.
Mhm.
Yeah, so see you next time, I guess.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.